That's interesting as well. So, yeah, a very, very different setup here for this game. And looks like the slightly better start has gone to HÖRMANN here, who have grabbed a second case harvester. And they're going for the same baler as they already have reserved elsewhere. No, they have not gone for the Fent baler, and I don't quite understand why they wouldn't go for that Fent baler. As we discussed earlier today, the Fent baler that HÖRMANN have grabbed just is so much faster at doing this. The New Holland baler requires more straw to fill a bale and goes 2 miles an hour slower. So yeah, not very competitive against this Fent baler that HÖRMANN are using. This is definitely mixing it up. And first bale, 128 points. Really, really nice score there from HÖRMANN on their first bale. And PÖTTINGER having a little bit of trouble, but still managing a 120-point first bale. So 8 points difference in that first bale. Actually, HÖRMANN doing 128 points from the far end of the pitch is really good. A very, very good start. And that case harvester now heading round 2 case harvesters for HÖRMANN. Without the... Yeah, I've been looking at this. And without the ideal in play, that case harvester, I think, is the best harvester that's there. It's got 100 litres less than the New Holland, but... yeah, has a wider, over a meter wider header on it. So it tends to create bigger piles of straw, which of course means that you can create bales quicker as a result. I think banning the ideal is a really good way to go for that. But it does cost points to do that, of course. It is ONJ. Welcome along. Hope you're doing well. FS22. Yes, so the initial version of FS22, that is done. Of course, that is being printed on discs and things. But there will be a day one patch. That has been confirmed. There are always bugs and issues and things that come along. Who won the previous match? That was won by Crone. They move forward into the quarterfinals. Our first power-ups are Bale Multiplier and Bridges Lowered. I don't think either team is going to go for this. Neither team has many bales to speak of. So HÖRMANN have got a 1 bale advantage at the moment, but there's no point in running all the way out there to do it for a single bale.
I'm back.
So both teams will ignore that. Welcome back.
Thank you for taking the reins there. Took a little break and got third breakfast, so I'm good to go now.
Yeah. I should
some leftover
surely
pizza.
The sun is coming up now. We discussed this yesterday.
The sun's out now. Yeah. It's 7 a.m.
Whereas for me, it's now going down.
Yeah, sun is like piercing through the windows. We had to close all the blinds, but yeah, I had a little snack. Good to go for a bit. Glad I didn't miss much. Just a few minutes of this one. That missed the first bale, but I noticed I was watching when I was eating, and I noticed that I stepped away for just a moment, and all of a sudden we're banning harvesters and picking herbicide now. What the heck? PÖTTINGER coming out with a different strategy. I like it.
And saving balers. HÖRMANN actually reserved the Fent baler.
Really? Okay, cool.
Which is great. Whereas for some reason, Pottinger went and reserved the New Holland baler, which I don't quite understand. And even though they'd reserved it, they also went and got it and ignored the Fent baler.
Right.
So not quite sure what's happening. Hey, Man Prophet and Dajal Crew. And,
Hello, everyone. What's up,
Poco
Floof?
Javaris.
Hope everyone's doing well. Oh, we got a Rockland USA raid over on the Farming Simulator League
did.
Esports Facebook. Cool. Hello to everyone on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So far today, we've had Corteva and Corona advance into the quarterfinals. Now we're into Group D, and the winner of this one will move on to Game 3 and have a really good chance at getting into the quarterfinals as well. It is double elimination, though.
Ooh, Staudi having issues.
Yep, I'm in Colorado for now until the Chicago office opens, then I'll be relocating. Nice,
How far
Blutinian.
of a move is that for you? I meant to ask.
It's a large country. It's a pretty significant distance. It's about a 14-hour drive between the two cities, so that gives you, I don't know the exact distance in miles off the top of my head, but I can certainly look real quick. Let's see.
Because this is the thing. In the UK, we have no idea. Having been to America, we have no idea how
of the distance
big the US is.
It's funny, actually.
You can drive. You can drive one.
It's 1,000 miles. By
Land's End to John O'Groat in one day.
Almost exactly 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
From here to where I'll be relocating in the Chicago area. So, yeah, it's a pretty significant move back east in this country. It's funny, we were talking about my days on Mixer earlier, and we also talked about how you're the Brit and I'm the American and I love football and you're not into it. But back in the day when I was streaming on Mixer, there was a friend of mine, Echo, and he's from the UK. And I was talking at one point about how I had to drive like 3-4 hours to see family at one point. And he was like, where in the world do they live? How far are you driving? And I was like, well, from this state to this state. And he was like, wait, you're not British? And he's a Brit himself. And he was like, I just assumed you had like a weird accent for some reason, but you love football so much and I'm not into football. So I just assumed because you talk about it so much that you're British. But it wasn't until I talked about the distance I had to drive to see family that he realized that wasn't the case. So I always give him guff for that now. Give him a hard time.
My thing is, though, to me, that wouldn't seem a weird one because I lived in London for years and families from Norfolk, and that's a 3.5-hour drive from where I lived. So, you know,
right.
Me going back to see family a few years ago would have been a 3.5-hour drive. So that's, not a weird thing for me.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, 14-hour drive. You can go through a lot of Europe. In fact, I have. I've driven from the UK to the French Alps.
Wow,
and done that in a day. And that's
We had slowdown picked up by both teams. It's the 8th minute drop, by the way. Those are about to expire. We now have HÖRMANN, who are delivering grain, but PÖTTINGER are coming in to do the same. Go enjoy your West Village, champ. Enjoy.
Again, HÖRMANN have 18 bales to 9. This is that Fent baler coming into play again. And both teams now dumping their grain. And HÖRMANN have a definite advantage at this point. But their combines have stopped, so they've got to get those going again. And there we go. More grain coming out of the combines. NeoPrince doing that. And Pottinger now, having got that multiplier around the other way, are actually taking advantage of it. But have been too slow.
Yeah, unfortunate timing
Look at that
there.
go the other way.
And the grain,
Oh,
the multiplier in Hermann's favor, the bale count in Hermann's favor. They aren't trailing by that much. They can make that up. Now Pertinger are delivering more grain and are going to try to flip it back. We're probably going to end up with 2-2 all said and done here.
I don't quite
There it
understand
is.
why when it costs the same amount to reserve that New Holland baler, I believe. No, do you know what? It costs more. It costs more to reserve that New Holland baler. Why?
Yeah.
Wow, I am amazed that they reserved that New Holland baler.
It's an interesting one. Hermann, you know, they're a team that definitely has been on the rise at the end of season 3. They started to really show that they can compete at the highest levels. But having said that, Pertinger are no slouch of a team either. So
No.
I can see either team taking
But-
this. We have
And I-
multiplier
and I-
switch as the super drop, so that's pointless in this game. So nothing's going to change from that.
I do love that the Pottinger came out firing. They banned
Different
that
strategies.
ideal combine and
Went with
that is-
herbicide.
yeah, went with herbicide, and that is just nice. Actually, they went with herbicide. That is why they've got that New Holland baler, and that's why they've kept it. Because they've got 2 tractors out there baling and having to bring stuff back. The New Holland baler can carry 3 bales.
Yeah, you have to bring that. You don't have this Anderson loader without transport company, so you have to weigh. You know, losing that means you have to bring bales in consistently. And how I've been taught by Bauer Matza from Diakerfleur, if you're not using transport company, basically what we would aim for in our training sessions is once there's like 4 to 6 bales on the ground, you start bringing them in on the back of the baler and run 2 balers if you can, and just kind of alternate driving back in and forth, back and forth to the barn to bring them in, because you don't have that luxury of just staying out on the field and leaving them for the Anderson to grab.
And their reasoning for going for the baler they've gone for, because even though it takes an extra 200 liters to create a bale, it goes 2 kilometers faster.
Yep,
When,
and like you said,
when it's
it'll
doing
bring
its work
3
speed.
in as well, which is nice too, with that extra speed. So you can bring 3 in at a time on the back, and if you have a stacker on the front, you can bring at least 2, if not 3 more in on the front as well.
And actually, I can now see Pottinger's whole tactics here very clearly. They have to ban that ideal combine because they can't counter the size of the grain that it carries.
Yeah.
So they have to counter that, because they need a combine with a large width. They need that case.
The problem
they
for
need
them
that case combine.
at the moment, though, is it looks like it's not going to work.
No,
they are at a huge bale disadvantage to Hermann, and Hermann bringing in the Anderson loader now, 14 more coming in. Meanwhile, Pertinger only have 3 of their 7 remaining sitting here. Even if they had all 7, they wouldn't have enough to win. So again, we're seeing transport company kind of reigning supreme, and just having more bales than the other team is also obviously bales score points. So the more you press, as long as you get them all in, the better off you're going to be.
I think it's one of those things where I'm kind of looking at the baler setup, and I'm going, that Fent baler is incredibly cheap for what it is in the points pick.
It's powerful compared
to
some of the more expensive ones.
It puts any team that is going for a strategy other than transport company at a massive disadvantage. And this is why transport company is the meta. You go and get that Fent baler, and you create extra bales and you can get them back easily. And that's the trouble.
Perttinger missing one on the back of the baler, but it wouldn't have mattered anyways.
No.
The first of this best of 3 is quite easily going the way of HÖRMANN here. And a very good showing by them. And it'll be interesting to see now if Perttinger goes away from that herbicide strategy they just went with, because it clearly did not work the way they expected it to. All right, well, here we go. We'll see if Perttinger can prove us wrong, but I don't have high hopes here for this strategy.
I don't
will
think
see.
this is a strong strategy for Perttinger. It needs adjusting. I think there is space for improvement, but it's an expensive strategy is the trouble.
Yeah, I feel like I would ban, even just banning the Fent Baler instead of the ideal could be different. But they've gone with the same thing, really, after just getting beaten by 150 points or so, I think it was. It was definitely over 100.
And HÖRMANN
so,
are straight out there with that Deutz on that vent as well.
Yeah.
You know, it takes them no time to get that first bale, and they scored extra first bale points last time. They're going to score extra first bale points this time. It is a winning combination. Perttinger, though, have got both combines they want, which is fairly important. That case, pretty much spot on. I think HÖRMANN kind of need to get the New Holland, maybe, or the John Deere. Although the John Deere has a wide head, it does have a 400-liter smaller tank.
Yep. First bale, pretty even. 2-point advantage for HÖRMANN.
Give me 6 days, Godguten. Building in there with the New Holland for the win symbols as you should.
Whose emote is that? As much as Alex loves emotes, or New Holland, I should say, it should be his emote, shouldn't it? Oh wait, it is.
It is my emote. That's exactly whose emote that is.
I knew it. I'm just giving you a hard time. But look, speaking of, we're having a look at it now in action.
There it is.
I do like the color, I have to say, especially as a Chelsea fan. I do like the color. Having a look at DaFlo and the case combine for HÖRMANN. Now looking at Staudi for Perttinger, running the grain cart around. Where's he headed with the grain cart? There's no combines that way. Is he just going for the drop, I guess? Might be going for silo close and then heading to the silo himself.
Very possible.
I don't know why else he would have been headed in that direction.
There is a combine on the upper side. He's now emptying.
There it is. Well, that makes sense. Just kind of circled around. Couldn't see that in the last camera shot. We'll probably do some events in Canada eventually, Twisted, but if we were to ever do FarmCon in North America, it would probably be at the offices.
We need a FarmCon insert country here, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what everyone would say, right? We can't do it in every country. I mean, that would be cool, but you know, logistically impossible. And financially irresponsible, probably. But yeah, we'll once things get back to at least semi-normal. I don't know if it'll ever be the same. We'll definitely be doing some events in Canada as well as the U.S. out of the U.S. office, because that's why we've chosen the Chicago area, not too far from the Canadian border and pretty easily accessible to most of the major cities in Canada, whether it's on the western side or eastern side. So we've been looking into it. We've got a list of trade shows in Canada and different events and the like. So in the future, you'll probably see us out at some events.
Nitos going in now with the fairly full, I'm suspecting, horse trailer. And positioning himself. Is that to unload later? That is.
Yep, leaving it for later. Indeed. Staudi now is going...
Must be heading back to a baler.
I hope so.
And PÖTTINGER have not used the case combine they reserved. They did this last time. They did eventually end up using both New Holland balers, but yeah, initially they grabbed the second New Holland baler and just kept going. It is a nice looking baler.
It is. Very nice.
I'm in Detroit. We are north of Canada. That actually is very true. The US-Canadian border is a weird one.
Borders in general is just kind of strange for states and everything
odd.
else here. And then like when you get into the states, like where I live, there's a county that is shaped so weird that you could drive different directions and be in it. And you could drive one direction and be in it for like a 30-minute drive and go another direction and be out of it within 2 minutes. It's just so bizarre how they're shaped. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, Richard.
Yeah. Yeah, we do need to change our messaging to almost 500 pieces of equipment, because we've been saying this whole time. Well, over 400, which isn't wrong, but
there's got to be over 6 more pieces of equipment to be revealed this week, though.
I mean, and stuff keeps getting added. That's the crazy thing. Yeah. And then, you know, by the time the year 1 DLC is out, there's going to be an even significant bigger number of stuff. So it's wild the amount of stuff that's coming. And I know some people were voicing concerns that certain things have been taken out. That's kind of to be expected with games. It doesn't mean that they won't be added in later, whether it be like, you know, sometimes we add in mods pretty early of equipment that's been in previous games that might be missing. And as well as the DLC too, there will be a lot more added within the first year and beyond.
Sometimes there's stuff. And I know that there are some things which are initially considered to be included and just aren't ready in time to go in the game as ships. Yeah. And so get released on the mod hub as, you know, early day mods. So just because a piece of equipment from a previous game isn't in there doesn't mean that we might not see it pretty soon after launch. PÖTTINGER dropping a bale. Maxinator, that's not good. And now the multiplier is going back the other way. Maxinator just getting in there slightly too late again. And PÖTTINGER now dropping grain and getting it to that 2.2. Just too late to get that first kill in there. Oh, grabbies, that sounds awesome.
I was going to say the same thing, although my cholesterol would disagree. But I don't eat a whole lot of eggs anymore.
5 chipolatas and 2 eggs for breakfast. So.
But hash browns and eggs is one of my favorite things that the missus makes for breakfast. But I eat it very rarely now. Gotta watch the cholesterol. Five and a half to go. Perttinger in the lead, 253 to 127, and they have a 2-point advantage on each bale. But currently, a massive bale advantage for Hermann.
Maxinator waiting for one more bale to go in, and DaFlo is just coming in, and he wants to shove all of these 3 in the bottom as quickly as he can. He's not going to make it though.
I think the messaging was just always over 400 because that's where the bar was initially set, but there's been so much added. There's been so much interest from other companies to get their equipment into 22, and that's down to the people that play our games that reach out to these places and say, we'd love to see your stuff in the game too. That's part of it. So you guys have definitely played a part. And there also is, of course, interest from us. And now that we have like a U.S. office, there's even an impact there because we're looking at trying to, you know, make sure we're getting more North American equipment in. We've got Canadian and U.S. stuff being added into 22 as well on top of all the rest. So, you know, it's just going to continue to get better. Like I said, 22 is the first game we're self-publishing, so it could be seen as a milestone, but it's also like a stepping stone for the rest of the series going forward.
And the other thing to remember is that all of the equipment that is listed on the website doesn't include any of multiple buildings and placeables coming in with FS22.
Yeah, I mean, well, we're watching Hermann in the FSL right now, and but they've been in the FSL for this entire season, and now Hermann is bringing branded animal pens and buildings into the build mode of FS22. So there's that stuff as well. So the FSL also is playing a part in getting more brands interested in the game. And there's multiplier switch as the super drop right now. And although it's not significant, Hermann could think about going for it, but I don't think they need to with this bale advantage.
Yeah, I don't think they had at one point they had a 20 bale advantage. At the moment they have a 12 bale advantage.
Yeah. They can close this gap.
I don't think they need
despite the multiplier deficit.
Yeah.
They can very easily
It'll make it a bit
gap.
closer, but interestingly that DaFlo is out there running about going and getting bales. He's cautiously getting on a... Oh, what is Maxinator doing? Is he going to go and get that?
Oh, he dropped a bale.
Went to get that bale out of the water. They need... This is the trouble. Pottinger needs every bale.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are Pottinger going to make bales? We're kind of debating that.
The thing is Pottinger at the moment look like they're going to do this, but if you see the bale difference, if Hermann get all these bales in, it might be Hermann going through in a straight sweep here. Maxinator's got to be careful. Still a little bit shaky. A lot of time wasted there to get this one bale back in.
Yeah, but still 16 bales out there for Hermann and 8 extra for Pottinger. And that gap is closing all the time. Although NeoPrince is going to have to get this stack back, and he is heading to do that now.
Yeah.
They need to get those in.
Ooh,
that
one's
bale
coming
is
off.
Not going in.
Both of them might end up off by the it's all said and done. Or actually, they might both stay on the way it adjusted.
450 to 544.
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know if there's enough bales for Hermann now.
Yeah, this is changed.
That one's falling off. Like, Pottinger have stuck with the strategy, and I was questioning it. We both were. But with a minute to go, they might just pull it off. But having said that, here comes more bales. And Hermann have more at the barn, too. Pottingers are kind of scattered about.
Bales, and Pottinger just throwing them in the bottom.
Yeah, that might not be a good thing because they need to maximize their points here. as
And
Herman
they
start to
have to
close the gap.
multiply it. It's not
Yeah.
wise.
It's a 101-point lead, and now that's been cut a bit by Herman. 30 seconds to go, and here's DaFlo. He can't afford any of these dropping off now.
No. Think that one
That
should
is
be
84
okay.
points on the belt for Herman. It's a 679 to 602 lead. This is going to be close. It depends on where the bales are for Herman. They're 640 now, but they've got to put the last couple in the bottom.
Bales? There are 4 out there. And they're shoving them in
Perttinger,
bottom,
they're gonna
and
do
it's
it.
not enough.
Well, you know what? Credit to them, and I'm happy to see Herbicide has won a game here. Oh,
Wow.
look at that. They've got the collector's edition sitting on the
What's
desk.
that on the desk?
That's
the
beacon.
collector's edition.
The beacon in the box. They're showing it off. I love it. At the beginning, you pick out like what kind of a challenge you want to have because it's an interactive experience. And I said route, and that gave me away right away. She was like, "Oh, are you American?" I'm like, yes. Yeah, you didn't say route, you said route. I'm like, fair enough. You found me out. Can I still be a British secret agent for the night? And oh yeah, certainly. Cool.
Better start here for Herman grabbing that case combine. Exactly what they wanted to do.
Hey, what's going on, Big Daddy? Good morning to you, buddy.
They've got a front baler anyway. Hey, Big Daddy. Mutual route.
We don't sell the Farming Simulator steering wheel and side panel. That's Logitech, who used to be SciTech. Now Logitech owns SciTech, so technically we're partnered with them on it, but they're the ones that sell it. It still will work on 22, but I have no clue about the availability of it personally.
It is still about a fair amount. I keep seeing it on Amazon and places. Last year it was on Amazon's Black Friday, so you might get lucky in a week or so if you're still looking for it.
There you go.
Oh, nice bit of air.
Yeah, we haven't seen any super crazy air times yet like we did yesterday. What's going on with Perttinger there? Did they get it stuck after they delivered the bale?
And why is he unable to connect back up?
It seems like it's stuck there or something. That is not good for Perttinger because not only do they not have the Fent baler, which is going to give Herman an advantage, but now they can't even get their baler out of the barn area. Okay, now Staudi is out, so could have been a lot worse. Able to get it out without too much fuss in the end. And now going to leave it and go get the grain cart. Yes, there are mods available via the in-game mod hub on consoles. Yet again, Jacob had a question about mods on Xbox One. If you missed the information about slot count improvements in 22 as well, there's up to a 300% increase on slot counts, depending on if you're on a new gen or a previous gen console, but still pretty good improvement on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One as well. All of the blogs about FS22, if you're wondering about information, are listed on our website. So go check it out, farming-simulator.com. I'm going to put it in all the chats right now too, because I've seen a lot of questions about 22, and I know why you guys are excited. But because we're doing FSL, we're not going to answer a whole lot of questions in regards to 22.
There'll be lots of opportunity for that later in the week. Do we know if the heavy equipment works with console? It works with, or with 19, it works with PS4. You can get it to work with Xbox, but it's a bit convoluted from my understanding. No idea if whether that's the case with 22 or not yet.
Grain multiplier here at the 12th minute. Herman have picked it up, and there is not enough time for Pertinger to get it. So this could be a little bit of an early advantage for Herman here. Time has run out to get it.
They are completely the opposite end of the field, aren't they? That is not good.
And if Herman have a full grain cart to deliver here, it doesn't matter what Pertinger are going to do with their full grain cart. This is going to be advantage for Herman early on, and this could spell bad news the rest of this round for Pertinger.
I don't think there's any way Pertinger can actually come back if Herman managed to all of this grain cart delivered with a grain multiplier.
Right.
That is just gonna hurt so bad.
Afternoon, Gamer Dragon. It's been going well. Hope you're doing well.
Afternoon, GD.
Yeah, Herman. Whew, look at that go up.
Wow.
Speedily. The problem is you can only get it to 3. So
now, there is a slightly good thing for Staudinga here in that because they didn't try and unload theirs at that point, it meant that Herman have to hold off delivering the rest of theirs.
Yeah, well, and Herman only have 1 bale too, so they're not going to be able to score a lot of points right now to take advantage of this. So that's one saving grace for Pertinger.
But they do have an awful lot of grain left in that trailer. And there's no way this is going back to a 2.0 to 2.0.
Yeah, it'll still be in their advantage, you're right. Even if Pertinger delivers it, Herman have grain left to get it back in their favor. It won't be 3-1, but it'll still be a significant enough advantage that it could flip outcome of this match for sure.
Yeah, this could be as high as a 2.3 or a 2.4 for Herman on how quickly that went up. I'm not rating Pertinger's chances right now.
If you're just joining us, welcome to the Farming Simulator League Season 3 Championship Group Stages. We are into the final group of the weekend, Group D. This is the first of 5 matchups, though, that will take place in Group D. So we're probably looking at another 3 hours minimum of FSL action today. So a lot more still to come. It's really, you know, soccer is really the fastest growing sport and has been for the last 15 years or so in the U.S. So there's a lot more of us than you think, but it is still pretty rare overall. But I've been into it since 2005. So 16 years, something like that.
Bale drop grabbed by Herman.
So pretty much half my life, over half my life or so, I've been into it. So yeah, it means a lot to my life. And like I said, I was doing commentary for it here locally and before I got hired by Giants for the community coordinator position. So, NeoPrince clipping the front of that case on the building there, flip him around a little bit. I think I can put that Discord link in chat as well. There you go for anyone interested. It is a I almost said fantastic, and then I wanted to say fabulous. So it was about to be fantabulous.
Fantabulous.
It is a fantabulous place to go. If you're a newcomer to the game, if you're a long-running fan, you can find just about anything you want. You can get advice on all kinds of stuff in there. It's a great place to ask your fellow players questions. And, you know, as the strong suit of our community is, the majority of the people are very helpful. And if you're a newcomer, the people willing to help you were also in your shoes at one time. So they're more than happy to understand where you're coming from and help you along the way. This is not the place for the football and soccer debate, people. Come on.
What do you mean? They're the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Both of the words were started in the UK too, so
there's no difference between football and soccer. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, all good, DJ Merlin. I have, luckily, because I do the scrimmage streams, I have my stream deck set up with a bunch of the important commands from doing the FSL scrimmages on Friday nights on Twitch. All right, FSL. Meanwhile, this is coming down to the last 5 minutes, and it's kind of hard to call, although Herman did end up with a 2.2 to 1.8 advantage thanks to that grain multiplier that Pertinger missed out on. And with a 10 bale advantage right now. The saving grace for Pertinger last time was they had the advantage. Now it's against them, and unless there's a huge error from Herman, it looks likely with 5 to go that Herman's going to be the team advancing to the next game in the winners bracket.
Pertinger do have a lot of bales sitting there waiting for them, though.
We've had a request for the Discord link on Facebook. I'll share it to both Facebook channels that we are currently streaming to. We're on the Farming Simulator League Facebook and on the FSL Esports Facebook. And that's actually the Farming Simulator League Discord. I've just realized that I'm sharing with you guys, not the official Farm Sim Discord. So, apologies. But if you're interested in FSL,
the Farming
that's good
Simulator Discord then.
If you're looking for the official one, hold on tight. And I think it's actually discord.gg/giant software is the easiest way to find it. But I'll also get an invite link here. Yeah, it is. Discord.gg/giant software is the official Farming Simulator Discord. The previous link I was sharing out is actually for the Farming Simulator League Discord. Bottom boost.
It's bottom boost. Why are you waiting, Herman?
I think he wants Pertinger to think that they're going to get it and waste time to go after it, I guess.
Yeah, there we go. No, he's getting into place. Look at this. They are perfectly
Super drop
lined
picked up
for this.
There you go. This could be potentially a bale pressive coming up.
In they go.
There's the bale-tastic.
Bale-tastic.
Oh, they
countered. Come in, and
they countered the bale pressive.
Stopped himself.
Okay.
But that is still Pottinger. Absolutely had it. It didn't matter.
That counter and the bale-tastic cancel each other out, but still, Herman just got all of those points for putting it into the bottom two. The problem is they have the multiplier advantage, and they didn't come out ahead in the bonus points, and they lost out on the 4 extra points per bale by putting them in the bottom too.
No, they didn't, because it was a
oh yeah, bottom boost gets the same amount of points. You're right.
The same amount of points. So they that's why they lined themselves up for it. They got 22 points per bale down there. That was
impressive. You're right. Forgot about that little tidbit for some reason. Maybe it's the sleep deprivation.
I get need of that. Yes, I get need of that energy drink in a minute.
This is Liam Italian says, "What map is this? This is the Farming Simulator League Season 3 Championship. We're playing in the Farming Simulator League Arena. It is a free DLC for FS19. So if you have FS19 on PC, go to the official FSL website, register an account. You'll be given a download key. Actually, you're given 3 in case you have 2 friends that could become your teammates, since it's a 3v3 game mode. And then you install it on top of FS19 on PC, and you can play. It requires a dedicated server to run.
NeoPrince coming in
Nice
with
fail.
6 more bales. There are, there just aren't the bales there for Pottinger at this point.
I have to give Perttinger credit. Like, they've played herbicide pretty well. I think they have, like, if you're going to play herbicide, you need to play it this way. But at the same time, missing out on bottom boost, missing out on the grain multiplier has done them in here.
Yeah.
Also, the fact
Three
now
more
that with a
bales.
minute to go, they're behind and they can't bring all of their bales in at once. They're having to bring them
Look
in
at that.
3
That
at a
is-
time. That's game
That's
over
nearly
right there on the
100
belt.
points going in there.
Yeah, that's game over right there. Like, if those weren't on the belt with what Perttinger has, although they just had one fall off, I would think they'd have a chance. But that pretty much seals it there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another
Liam,
bale
people are
coming
learning about
in.
it still all the time. You know, it's the 3rd season, but it's not really been around that long. And it's just really starting to continuously gain in popularity. So understandable that you didn't know it existed. But yeah, this is season 3 will be this group stages will be culminated at the end of today. We've got 4 more matches now after this one to go, but then the finals will be in early December, hopefully an in-person event taking place in Switzerland. And there you have it. Herman, the higher seed,
HÖRMANN are through.
the 4th placed team in the season 3 standings, has moved on to the next match. So now we'll have Manitou taking on My Insanity,
18
and the winner
bales
of that
in the
will take on
bottom.
Herman for the chance at the quarterfinal.